remember everything that happened. Okay, so welcome to Tales from the Tarnished Jewel and Beyond, Dungeon Crawl Classics actual play thing. I'm your judge, Will, and joining me today, we've got Brandon.
Hi, and this is Carter. I'll be playing as Kronk and potentially Babatunda.
Okay, great. Warriors both, or actually a warrior and a dwarf.
And I'm Brian. I will be playing Daryl, who is a human cleric, and Joan, who is a human warrior.
Formerly Jude, now in the body of his
mother.
It never gets
young, hot mother.
That's a lot to come to grips.
It's just it never gets old.
Funny enough, neither does she, apparently.
Perishable body.
And tough to follow, but yeah. I'm Dave, and I'll be playing 2 level 3 elves, Faye and Kim.
Great. And so I think last time we played this, it was a little bit of a shopping montage, and also just a pretty radical change in the city of Punjar. You've discovered that I don't know if we put a year on it, but some number of years in the future, possibly 100 years in the future, since you went to the plane of good to rescue Lord Claus. You got rid of some stuff. You went around and bought some stuff. You found out that your former companion Yoshimi is now the Overlord. What else did you do? You went to the something of Dark Delights.
Yeah.
And found some like weird crypt people.
That's kind of a bust.
Yeah. There was
They weren't as weird as advertised. I was just like, you guys don't have the cash or the goods to trade for the cool shit we have.
Well, they did want to trade you a mask for a mask, which you guys were not into. But that's fine.
Our mask was cooler. Why would we? It's like sending a player for like a worse player and a draft pick. It's like, no, I'll just keep the better player with a better mask.
What else? You found out that there's a lot of corruption in the city still, and your dwarf friend is pretty annoyed with being asked for a bribe by a bunch of elves at every step. And then also, I guess, found out at the very end that the person who you were pretty sure was just a put-upon vendor was also a vendor of shoddy goods that didn't want anything. So I think from there, you guys just went back to bed. And so we'll just start from there. Oh, and yes, I wanted to remind Brian of what Lexalia said, that I think the rest of you overheard. Lexalia came to Joan and Darrow and Jack Frost and Lysander and said, while much has changed in the city, time means little to the gods of law and chaos. The struggle continues ceaselessly in the cursed and forbidden temples of the city. Azazel maintains his vigil, and yet the Carnifex grows stronger. Justicia demands you seal her away forever, lest the great enemy's daughter returns to his side. You've done much to revive the Lords of Law from their torpor. Now we must press our advantage.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Can we change Joan's name on the character sheets? It's still Jude.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
probably. He is.
It's interchangeable. I mean, he still is Jude. He's just in his mother's body, and he went by Joan because he's now in the body of a woman. But like, yeah, the gender identity of Jude is kind of ambiguous, I would say.
Okay. It's just like it's hard enough to remember these names without them being. Can it just be like parentheses?
You can
Joan?
call him Jude, or you can call him Joan.
No, I don't care what. I just need it written down so I remember it's Joan. I'm like, it's J something. Yeah, but if it's not written down, I have to keep asking. Like, oh, it's Joan. That's what it was. Yeah. It's primarily for my own memory and housekeeping than anything else. so I can remember what their people's names are. All right, so but it's the same character, like powers wise and everything like that, right?
Yeah, more or less. I think imperishable
Okay.
body, so better stats, can't die.
Okay.
Can still be injured, can still be decapitated, but just cannot die, which is a fun
Sure.
thing. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
So the next day. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The next day you awaken to the sound of unearthly horns blowing through the morning mists. Outside your window, you hear hushed mutterings and a subdued clattering, as if every window on the street is opening, and you can tell crowds are gathering outside. The horns continue to blow, a haunting melody announcing a procession. You're filled with wonder and a sense of yearning, and the feeling that if you listen too closely or let your mind stray, you would follow those horns through mist and forest, and across hill and dell, until you came to an undying land of unending spring, where blossoms bloom forever. Beyond pain, without ego, deathless, ceaseless, a slave to the beauty of an enchanted land where time stands still and none may ever leave willingly. Then, the horns cease, and the magic is broken and the world starts to turn again. Suddenly, the innkeeper bursts through the door to your room, breathless. The Overlord, she wants to see you. She's come from the Rainbow Palace. What shall I tell her?
Can we get a quick point of clarification?
Sure.
Well, the horns were playing time was actually stopped, or it just felt like time was stopped as the procession came through?
It's a great question.
Okay.
Both, I would say. Not totally stopped. But I've been reading The King of Elfland's Daughter, so I'm just going to rip this off directly from the book. It's like if there was a still lake and you could see the grasses beneath it, but everything was still, and then someone threw a rock into it, and the water started moving, and it's just like this brief interlude of timelessness that is interrupted by the fact that there are mortal people in the area.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where
Permanence collides with impermanence.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like we know this person.
Yeah, it's
No,
like,
but also
all
we
right.
know them. So why would we be worried?
Well, I mean,
Well, he'd be worried.
I feel like you guys know him.
Yeah.
I'm just a cannibal who lived underground for 40 years. People generally don't take, pity on my kind. And on top of that, she seems to control time itself. Like, I feel like I'm just walking into a bear's den with a suit made of meat.
Meat suit.
Right now.
Meat suits are great, man.
Yeah.
How are you ever gonna let people know the real you if you don't open up a little bit? You gotta be open to new experiences, meeting new people.
Can't hide behind your armor. Yeah.
Yeah, your meat armor isn't gonna save you; it's gonna rot. And
Yeah, it really is not going to save me. That is true. All right, I guess. Here we go.
Okay. Just a point of clarification. Are you asking about the time stuff in or out of character?
In character.
So to the innkeeper.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Like Babatoon does, what the hell is happening here?
Yes. So I think she just simply says, those are the Horns of Elfland. Announcing the coming of Yoshimi. And I'll give you more because
And
it seemed like you wanted more.
Faye,
Mhm.
also Faye and Kim are patrons of the King of Elfland as well.
Yeah.
So they would probably know at least the legend of the horns.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that they would not only recognize them, but like I think have this like feeling of like a pang of homesickness.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, also we were like on the quest to get the horn to make the war horn of Elfland. So I think they would know that like horns are a thing. Too.
Yeah. Okay. So yes. So are you? What's your move?
Move. I'm taking a back seat. I'm gonna let my companions that seem to
Yeah, I don't know
what's happening here.
Did she send an Uber to us? Do we have to walk over there? What's the deal?
Oh, she is literally outside the inn.
Okay, great. Let's
Then
just
it's as simple as going down the stairs, I suppose.
Yeah, she's
Faye and Kim have nothing to worry about. They don't think they have anything to worry about. They go down there.
okay. Great. Yeah, she deigned to come out of the palace to come see you. So you go down the stairs and out to the streets that are crowded with onlookers, keeping a respectful, perhaps fearful distance from the retinue. What you see is awe-inspiring. There are 24 elves dressed in full, shining mithril plate armor, all carrying long, sharp polearms. They surround 6 wizened men and women, who in turn stand aside a carriage made from the skull of a massive slain dragon. Pulled by 4 white stallions, and at the head of the line is a shimmering creature with a single pearlescent horn protruding from its skull. From the carriage
has a dragon carriage pulled by a fucking unicorn?
Yes, sir. From the carriage steps an elven woman dressed in black battle armor shaped from the hard black dragon scales. At her hip is a long, glowing sword. Atop her head is a crystal diadem embedded with glimmering gems. A veil covers her face, but in the little gusts of breeze, you catch glimpses of burn-scarred flesh beneath. All around you, people bend the knee while the Overlord walks towards you. Dave.
Bubba Tunda and Kronk are gonna like fall prostrate on the ground and be like, "Oh God, she's wearing her armor, she's carrying a sword. We're fucked. She knows you stole that apple from that vendor that one time you didn't pay for it. She fucking knows, man. You are fucked. She's taking you first."
And then she speaks. So Dave, I'm gonna let you take it away. What does Yoshimi say to the party?
Yoshimi says, "It's been a long time. Well, at least it's been a long time for me. How long has it been for you since we saw each other?"
Time is a tricky concept for us, Darrow says. And Jones was like head or hip bowed, and then she says, "Yes, and some things have changed. And I would say that based on what Yoshimi knows, she knows that Joan is Jude. She can just like see it in her eyes."
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like you've been on one adventure, but since we saw each other, I've been on countless adventures. Do you want to know how long it's been since we saw each other?
Yes. Please tell us.
It's been 78 years. And in those 78 years, as you can tell, I've since become the overlord of this city and its sworn protector. But I obviously remember our time fondly together, and I will always treasure that time. But more importantly, I owe you a debt in compensation for you helping me achieve my current position. So whatever I have for you materially is at your disposal, as well as my favor when it comes to things that happen in the city, provided you follow the rules as everyone else is obliged to do. So, what do you have to ask of me?
We thank you for your hospitality, and it's good to see an old friend. We ask nothing of you other than information. We have been tasked with clearing the Carnifex, and we would be grateful for any information you could provide as it resides here in the city.
All right. Go ahead.
I say switching characters.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's like, okay, so my information networks are at your disposal. So what happens is there's this, like, the orderlies behind her have a bunch of files, right? And they keep kind of lining up and stacking up behind her as she's talking to you. Like, they're like waiting to hand her stuff. And she's like, okay, well, hold on one second. I have to take these reports. And they have the files that you're looking for on the Carnifex. So they file these reports, right? And she's like, you know what? I don't have time to take your oral report. Just give me your written report. Does anybody have anything urgent? Right.
Good job.
And this one orderly jumps in and he's like, you know what? I actually have something. I don't want to say it in front of your guests, but it really pertains to your guests, and it pertains to specifically to the files that we inherited from the Assassin's Guild that are now in our records. So, in my duties, right, as one of your investigators, I was sworn with investigating these new people in the city, and I have some information for you. Their files on these gentlemen and these adventurers are missing from the files.
Oh.
And Yoshimi's like, oh, yeah, no, that's I know where those files are, actually. Have you visited the museum on the accomplishments of Yoshimi? This is no conspiracy, sir. These files have been appropriated because these gentlemen helped me in the deeds which led me to my ascendancy. They helped me take out these evil assassins, and that's where these records are. So if you would like to observe these records, you simply need to go to the museum. There's nothing out of order here. I was sure any crimes they would have been committed were only against the Assassin's Guild, which, as you know from our history, are our sworn enemies. So.
Nice.
All right, and then she comes up, and this other dignitary comes up with this big box, files, and it says Carnifex on it, and hands it over to us.
Okay. So let's see. Let's me tell you. I'm not going to tell you everything, right? This is what is known of the Carnifex. First of all, the Carnifex, the cult of the Carnifex, was an ancient cult that existed in Punjar years and years and years before you all had come here, and it took from. Oh, I'm sorry. The god is she's the goddess of executioners, torturers, and assassins. And she took from her ranks the lowliest castes, the diseased and crippled, and the criminally insane and the untouchables. And the cult embraced suffering and transience of the mortal coil, and exalted death as a release from the agony of life. They were celebrated in the highest, most decadent circles of Punjar, and were tasked with reminding the nobility of their own mortality. And eventually, though, they gained too much power and gained the notice of a fanatical priest bent on scouring the world of the foul and unclean, named Azazel. Not sworn to any one god, he venerated the ideals of beauty and life, and their celebration of death were an affront against Azazel, against all Azazel held holy, and could not be permitted to exist. He rallied a small army of Punjar's finest youth, each a specimen of beauty and nobility, and dubbed them the Swords of the Pious, a company of bright scions sworn to cleanse Punjar of the cult and all that professed its evil doctrine. Girded in gleaming armor and wielding bright blades, the swords of the pious easily sacked the chapel, toppling its walls and putting the cultists to the sword. While raising the chapel's gilded altar, Azazel uncovered a hidden passageway. Marshaling his forces, the priest of light led his army down into the darkness. And they were basically never seen again by anyone on Punjar. But to this day, the families of the youth that went with Azazel into the Carnifex's temple stand watch over the ruins of the temple, the above ground ruins of the temple, and basically are there to keep people from, looting and destroying the icons, carvings, and sigils of the Carnifex to the point that nothing remains. And so way more than you would get from just rumors and superstitions. It's kind of like the whole history. But again, no one has seen Azazel or those scions of the wealthy people that went with him below ground for hundreds of years at this point.
Oh, okay. Because I thought when we were initially tasked with putting this out, like he had recently gone in there.
No, it was a long, long time ago.
And now it's 78 years even removed from that.
Right. Yeah, and I think what I would say as just kind of a reminder of what Lexalia said, right? Like time means little to the lords of chaos and law.
Right.
And
it does mean something to like. So are the families like? Did they settle on top of the ruins, and just each generation is like, we're gonna stand vigil here?
Yeah, that's basically it, right? Not like they don't live there, but like they stand vigil just to like honor the memory of their ancestors and prevent tomb robbers and whatever.
That's like basically their job.
Right. But you also did get that map from Magmar the Thief that purported to show a secret entrance. And that
78
was
years ago. Do we still have that map?
I don't know. I don't know who had it, so
I don't know.
It was just in a regular inventory, so
okay. Yeah, I think probably. Dave, you had a
time-worn
question.
parchment.
yeah. We know where the temple is, right? Obviously,
Yes, you know where the ruins of the temple are.
the ruins. Okay.
I guess I should say you
and
know where the ruins of the above ground temple are.
the above ground temple. Yeah.
And it is
Okay.
it is part of, I think I mentioned this last time. Actually, I don't know if I did mention it. There is a street, if you guys are looking at the map, Temple Street. There are also on Temple Street, there is there are forbidden temples, right? Like temples that have been long abandoned, that like by order of the Overlord, no one is to go into, all that kind of stuff. So
Okay. Sure.
And,
All right, is
and
that all the? Oh, go ahead, Brandon. Go.
some of these wizened men and women here, these are the scholars that maintain these records.
yeah, these are like
Mhm.
these are the people that maintain the records for Yoshimi. I think also all of them are wizards or witches of some repute, right? Like unlike the alchemist who was like a bullshit wizard, like these people are like legit. Like I would say probably like level 3 or 4 wizards.
So, but part of your story caught my ear. If I may be permitted to speak to one of your stature.
Yeah. Your friends are my friends. These people, we were in war together.
And your friends are my friends, and my
Exactly.
friends are your friends.
Well,
If you fought with them, then consider us brothers.
Jude threatens me
Whatever.
quite often, so I'm not sure how close of friends we are, but we're definitely acquaintances, and we work towards common goals. So,
Do you
Please
follow
don't
the
get
lawful
us.
path is the question.
No comment.
so the question that I had was about the story that you were just telling us, when you said they took the lower caste and they were sent to be a reminder to the nobles of their own mortality, does that mean like somebody with leprosy would just show up during breakfast and drop a finger in their Cheerios, or like how did that work?
So I don't think that the specific examples of like how they were sent to remind the nobility of their own mortality is like captured. I mean, I think you could imagine that yes, it was like lepers showing up and like trying to spread disease among the nobles, or like, you know, through assassinations.
Yeah, I was thinking
occasional-
assassinations. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is a long time ago. There's probably very few people alive now. I guess if you were to seek out maybe the families of the pious, they might like have like an oral tradition they pass down or something. But I don't. Besides what I told you, I don't think there's any like additional information.
And like Yoshimi would only know about like their current interactions with those families and the temple as it currently exists.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I heard a couple beggars on the way here, you know, mumbling something about like Father, Son, Holy Ghost stab a noble and steal his toast or some shit. They might be part of that pious group that you were talking about.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. What else?
So Yoshimi's like, yeah, this is the information that I have, but if you're in need of any equipment, but I also have a room to offer you with you can use as like a secure location, staging location. And then since we have, you know, served so well together, and I believe that if you were here with me, that you would have maybe helped me ascend and ascended with me to this position. I'm always in need of good advisors, good soldiers, and good clerics. So if anybody would like to retire from your current life of adventure and become one of my advisors and one of my trusted staff, I would welcome that right now. We are currently have some open positions, so talk to me about anything that you might be interested in filling.
Yeah. And just from a gameplay perspective, this is just if you want to like swap out a character and like take a chance on rolling a new character, this is how you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Says, I know, Brandon, you think Babatuna sucks, for example.
No, I mean, Babatunde
like,
is great, man. He's got that bloodlust that is incredibly powerful. I just don't. I think canonically he doesn't really fit. Like, I don't think Babatunde and Joan or Jude are ever going to get along because, like, he fucking knows. Like, he knows what he did. He knows he was like keeping people alive to like slowly carve off their meat and feed it to the rest of his people. Like, how do you get over that, right? It's one of those things that, like, you could build 100 houses, but you're not called a house builder because you fucked one goat. So everyone calls you, like, goat fucker, right? Like, Babatunde is stained by the memory of the people that he ate. And I don't know that they're ever really going to get over that.
It's up to you.
So it's like, Yoshimi's basically a level 8 character. She's getting a character emeritus now, and that's basically what I feel like it'd be. So it's just like retired character that's kind of still part of the story.
Right. Yeah. Kind of similar to like Alveric would have been.
Would have been had he survived.
Well, he survived. I mean, I don't know. He might still be alive. You guys haven't investigated the Thieves Guild. Like, he could be around.
They did say that the guild and Yoshimi were mortal enemies, though, right? So
I have a question. What happened to the old Overlord?
Also, that's in the museum if you want to see it. But he so basically the previous Overlord, I don't know if you remember, was kind of not doing a great job, and the people demanded that he be replaced, and they decided that I would be the best person to replace them.
This is my I don't know if you guys remember, there was the dragon in the marsh, and it was like a force of nature, right? And it's like every time anyone rode out to face the dragon, a new overlord would rise. And so I think in my mind, what's happened is the overlord finally was like, we have to deal with this dragon. And Yoshimi was like, and Yoshimi's like cast of new adventurers like rode out and defeated the dragon, and then everyone's like, wait, why are we paying this guy?
Exactly. Like I said, popular vote, people's champion.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I think like Yoshimi ascends to power because of her deeds, and part of why she ascends to power, and I think she's like saying this is like some of like the legendary deeds that she did with y'all are like part of how she developed the legend, right? So she's like kind of like, oh yeah, like these people are critical, like she owes you, but also she feels like you guys are in the museum too, and if you're like, oh, we don't like this person, right, then that's gonna like stain her legacy as well. So she wants to curry favor with you because like she basically told everybody how cool you are, and if you come around and like, oh, actually you suck, or this person didn't do any of that shit, right, that definitely is gonna hurt her legacy as well.
Well, and it's also kind of like, you know, she's got a past life, and we're like one of the remnants that exist of the past life, and she didn't even know we were still around. So like, you know, it's
exactly
like the nostalgia of being like, oh, you remember 78 years ago when we did all those things.
Right.
From a super metagame perspective, my idea is like if we feel like we need to do a season 2, then it's like Yoshimi and like the Thieves Guild and all that stuff, and like we see all this stuff happen.
Prequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not even like
Flashback.
a prequel, a mid-quel.
Legal flashback.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we will take you up on that room, and if you have...
she has a bunch of non-magical armor, but like high-quality shit, so if you need anything else. But we went shopping last episode, so I don't feel like anybody really needs a ton of stuff, but I think it's like we always have access to this armory, but also like if we get into trouble, then we have someone to call too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, yeah, I guess, I mean, like, now I'm like I'm not playing the character, but I think like if I was not playing my characters, Faye and Kim, I would like, I don't know, see if there's like some way we can call for backup if we ever need it, right? Like, can these fucking like golden soldiers run in and save our ass if we need it sometime? Like, is there like a horn we can blow and then like we'll get?
I think. Yeah, I'm into that. I think. You know, I don't know if they...
Like if we're out in the open, right? Not if we're like deep in the fucking depths of this dungeon or something. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think what I would also say is like instead of replacing level 0 or like level whatever characters you have with like level 1s, you can just like replace them with like a like for like level character, right? As there's like, you know, as there are maybe not adventurers, but like former adventurers who have just become like soldiers or like wizards that are part of Yoshimi's retinue or whatever. Like you have a ready available source of replacement characters if like someone dies. Which I
because I think so. Yeah, she's continuing like this. Yeah, it's like it's a government, but it's very pretty not that dissimilar from the Assassin's Guild, right? From the Thieves Guild, sorry. And it's just like so there's a lot of up and coming young people that she has that want to need to be proven, right? Or need to prove themselves, or just need training, or whatever. That she's happy to dispatch.
Right, and I think she can also. You guys can just like take, you know, a level 0, like hirelings, right? Basically, like for free,
Squire.
Right? Yeah, take on squires that can just, you know, especially if you're about to go into a dungeon, that could, you know, be 10-foot poles, as it were.
Yeah. Okay, so like, I actually will. I'll take one of those. Okay. So I'll take a little squireling. Are they elven or are they something else? We're gonna roll for it. You want me to roll for it or
whatever? Yeah, I think they can be whatever. I'll let you choose. I don't care. Right, human, elf. Like they're still a levels. I think as hirelings are like level 0s, but they can like, you can have them be whatever, and then if you do want to level them, I think if you want to swap out
I see what you're
characters,
saying.
then it's like a random roll kind of situation
Okay.
of like, who do we have?
I'll keep my 2 main characters, and I'll just have this little level 0.
Okay.
I'll roll for it when we have like an opportunity before we need to do something important.
Sure.
All right, so it's like oh, in your honor, we will take on a squire and train him in your tradition and regale him with stories of your deeds and misdeeds, of course, once we get drunk. Sure. So we'll take a zero link.
Sure.
Anybody else need anything? Want anything?
Nope. I mean,
Alright.
depending upon what time of the day it is, we might go back to the room that we have and rest for the evening or have dinner. And if it's like midday, then yeah, probably we're not going to set out. But come tomorrow, we're probably going to go to the site of the Carnifex temple.
Right. Yeah, let's just do it.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, it's probably still morning. I don't imagine that you guys spent all day just like standing in the street talking.
Hey, Yoshimi, how do those horns work?
It's a mysterious and powerful device, and its mystery is only exceeded by its power.
That's great. That's great. Do you just have to hear
how
the
it works
horns
is-
to be immortal, or
Oh, this requires some like here's what's happening. Let me just explain. So another like wizard comes forward and is like, the great Overlord Yoshimi, through her infinite wisdom and power, is we have brought some portion of Elfland, the timeless plane of the elves, to our fair city. And so it's like the magic of Elfland seeps into all aspects of our life. Thus, and like this is explaining like why the roads are made of grass, right? And like why there's vines and trees that people are living in. And the closer you get to the Rainbow Palace, the more and more like Elfland things are. And I think mechanically in Dungeon Crawl Classics, that just means that like if you were to cast magic in those areas, you would get like pluses. You would roll like up a dice chain or whatever. And I think across the city though, like people are living longer lives, right? Magic is more available. You probably wouldn't have been able to find potions in Old Punjar like you can here.
Okay, well, I guess we'll set out then. Part ways with Yoshimi. Wish you the best.
Yep.
Tell her we'll see her soon.
Cool. All right. So,
And if you ever want to see somebody cast level 8 fucking lightning bolt,
right. Yes.
Get ready. Can't wait.
Okay. So you guys rest. Is there anything that you're gonna do while you're resting at the inn? Are you staying at the inn? Is there anything else that you're asking of Yoshimi?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned, is it like a lodging place or is it more of like an office workspace?
It's like a room, I would imagine, at the palace or somewhere adjacent.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just stay there, right?
I think that
No reason not to. It's free.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Housekeeping and room service. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think you can either just have a room in the castle or like along the noble quarter, which is like basically this right in front.
Embassy
right?
Row.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, is this
sure.
Do you move into like a small mansion?
Let's take up residency right outside the temple, or right outside the palace.
Yeah. It says.
I think that's better.
Just outside the Rainbow Palace, south of Temple Street, its eastern border is Wall Street. So it's these.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, there's like minor castles, giant houses.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, maybe one of the like lesser giant castles, but still like a
Yeah.
one of the largest houses.
Yeah. What about that little blue one? What about the little blue one? It's
like this guy?
Yeah.
Like a glass house.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
The one with the conservatory.
Right. Yeah. There you go. The air in this neighborhood seemingly reeks with money, power, decadence, and outrageously priced perfume.
All right. Before this goes to the house hunters, let's move on. Okay.
All right. So the next day you are gonna set out. Brandon, are you gonna take a couple level zeros? Okay. Are you gonna swap out either of your guys?
No, I think Babatunda's gonna stay.
Okay.
How many guys are we taking? 2? 3?
What's that?
I'm just taking one. So I have Faye, Kim, and now the level 0. I'm gonna make it.
How many high
sorry.
level characters are we taking?
This adventure is designed for 6 to 10 third-level characters, aided by stout-hearted hirelings.
Okay,
The adventure
only
can
have
be
2.
attempted by a smaller party of 4th or 5th level characters, and will prove no less challenging. So I think 2 is fine. That would give you...
Yeah, so I have 2 level 3s right now.
Right. Brian, you have a level 5 and a level 2?
4 and a 3 and a 3.
4, 3, and a 3. Brandon,
Okay.
I think you have a 4 and a
I have a 4, a 2, and 2 zeros.
Okay. So I think you can bring your one or... I'll let you bring both of your level zeros, because like level zeros are kind of...
Yeah, I think that gets
useless.
10 right there anyways.
Yeah.
Because I have 3.
You bring an army of level
minus
zeros
3.
and it wouldn't make much of a difference.
It depends on their abilities, I guess. We'll see.
Not really, man. I mean,
No?
they die in one hit. It's
Yes, but what if they're like? I mean, clerics can still heal a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I
level
mean,
0,
unless they get
yeah.
smashed by like a giant club or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a level 0 has between 1 and like 6 hit points.
Yeah, it's like nothing. You can lose
They're
that.
able
and it's fine.
to survive some indirect damage from a cloud of poison. Yeah, if they take half damage, they might be able to survive.
It's funny in Mutant Crawl Classic. So in Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's like you always have at least 1 hit point. There's like Mutant Crawl Classics. It's like if you roll a level 0 with 0 hit points, it just is like stillborn. It's like it's like sometimes the mutations are not conducive to life.
Sad. That's like gross and tragic, but also very realistic. But what are you gonna do?
You have gills. You can only breathe underwater, but you're also hydrophobic. So
bad news. So yes. So I guess the question is, how do you want to approach this? You know that there are like the ruins that are protected, but you also do have an old
secret
map
entrance
to a secret entrance. So
that seems good. But did we? The only reason I think the secret entrance seems really good. I think that's how we should enter. But do we want to try to get some information from the people?
That's the other thing that I guess
that's what I was thinking.
Thinking is like, if you wanted to go down there and you're like, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, I don't know that they'd be like, no, you can't. They'll be like, I don't know, you're probably never gonna come out again. But as long as you don't fuck up what's up here, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm just more thinking the secret entrance might just have fewer. We might be able to avoid some obstacles or take a shortcut by going that way more than like. I don't think we need to sneak around.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I see it either way.
But maybe we can just go talk to those people and then we can go in the back.
Well.
Yeah. Okay. So which do you want to do?
I think we should go to the front. We can just like send one person or just whatever, go to the front and talk to them.
Okay.
Before we go in the seek, but I think we should enter through the back way that we found the map for.
So this is kind of a thing that I found. Ignore this underground piece of a ruined temple.
Hold on 1 second. I'm just grabbing my die. I can hear you.
Little remains of the original chapel, save a simple stone stairway rising over 3 archways, a pile of rubble, and a sickly, lifeless tree growing from the very center of the ruin. The stones are carved with black marble, shot through with veins of verdigris. Those investigating the rubble discover the lower stones are fused together as if by great heat or pressure. Their seams melted together like volcanic glass.
Volcanic grass. I like that.
Volcanic grass. At night, the rubble glows softly in the foul mist. The heat constantly radiates from the crumbled stones. All religious motifs, carvings, or iconography have been hammered into dust, leaving the barren rubble of any history or identity. The ruins are surrounded by rusted iron crow's cages or gibbets hung from wooden poles at irregular intervals around the ruined chapel. Each contains the corpse of a would-be chapel robber in various states of decay. The fresher corpses buzz with flies and are jealously warded by black-winged birds of carrion, while the older corpses are little more than bones, picked clean and bleached in the sun. And so, I think they're not as aggressive is not the right word. So around kind of the edges of the temple, there are 8 swordsmen, and they kind of eye you warily. They see you coming and they say, hands on swords, right? Like, stay back, beware. Any tomb robber will face our swords. What is your business here?
We simply wish to ask some questions about this tomb.
Yeah, and I think so. One of them, the leader-looking guy, he's got heavy armor on, covering his face, and he says, "What? This is the ruined temple of the Carnifex, and our families have defended this site for generations. Our kinsmen died defeating a fell and wicked cult. We protect their legacy and make sure none may enter the temple."
Why do you guard this temple? What lies beneath?
Funny story. He says that nothing lies beneath because our families made the ultimate sacrifice of their sons and daughters to defeat the foul mistress of torturers and executioners.
Then why do you
Because we must protect their legacy.
From whom? This place seems abandoned.
And he just points to the corpses in the gibbets, and he says, "From the robbers who would take from our family's ancestors their gold, their gems, their swords, their blades."
And Joan, because Daryl was talking to the guy, she pulls him aside and she goes, "They're clearly zealots. They don't know why they're here. They're doing it strictly out of routine." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so they walk back away.
Yeah. I think literally this is what it says. "The noble sons know little of the chapel's past, other than it was a home of a wicked cult that devoured their kinsmen. Over the decades, the sons have thoroughly destroyed every icon, carving, and sigil until nothing remains to identify the ruins. They know little," it's like saying the same thing, "save that their collective families have defended the site for generations, believing that their own kinsmen died defeating a fell and wicked cult." So they believe that the cult is destroyed. You know better because Lexalia knows better. But for everyone, to all intents and purposes of normal-ass people, they think that this is not a problem, right? And they're just protecting it because they are literally just protecting their family legacy from
right. They're just
robbers.
A bunch of crazy people who stand around a burned down temple all day.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Because no one has any value here. They're those people stay there, but no one wants to go there. It's useless.
Right. Well, I think people do try to find. They do believe that there is treasure because no one ever came out.
Right.
So who knows?
But most people are they can see that it's kind of burned to the ground and there's just blackbirds and skeletons. So I think maybe really poor people might try and spelunk or see what they could find. But most other people it's not worth the effort. These guys are armored and there's clearly nothing here.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair summation of the normal people of Punjar versus like, these people who are like like no, my family was really important. And
And I polish my sword every day in case someone comes around and asks about it.
yeah, exactly. They're a bunch of rich fail sons. They have they don't have the balls to become adventurers themselves or to
who have also kind of fallen into poverty because generations of them have just guarded this temple.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. So that's what you get from these guys, which is admittedly nothing. So do you follow the map then?
Yeah, I think that was what we were planning on doing.
Okay. Prying open a rusted lock, you slip beneath the worn cobblestone streets and into a dry cistern. Every step leaves the familiar city further behind and carries you further into the weird underworld. Strange, shelled worms crack underneath your hard-soled boots. Glowing eyes lurk just beyond the reach of your lights, and your torches flare blue and orange in the foul miasma that passes for air. Incredibly, the old rat's map proves right. A grim obelisk topped with a stone skull stands in the center of the passage as if to bar your way. Yes. So that's kind of what you do there. So what do you... Grim obelisk topped by a stone skull stands in the center of the passage as if to bar your way. So I guess the question is, do you turn back or do you adventure onward?
Does the map say anything about getting past the obelisk?
Do you investigate it?
Yes.
Okay. Who's investigating it?
I'll have Joan investigate it.
Okay. I don't think that she would get anything from it, other than it has like magical symbols and magical words carved into it, but it appears to be little more than a statue.
Okay, then there's no way forward beyond this.
You can just walk around it.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll do that. I thought it was like blocking the tunnel and we had to like open it.
No,
but yeah, we'll go around it.
No. No.
Like, this is a stupid map. If we come to a dead end.
We come to a dead end, and we can go no further before
this map is bullshit,
like you go down
dude.
into a tunnel, and then good luck. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is the obelisk right here, I think. And then it says, the shattered passageway ends before a gaping chasm. Above, you can see where the sewers once joined. A muddy torrent cascades from the shattered pipe, spilling past you and down into unfathomable darkness below. Your goal lies across the gulf and through the torrent. A stone portal set atop a carved platform and marked with a single carven skull engraved in green. So basically, you go past the obelisk, and you're in this like pipe, and then the pipe ends, and across the way you can see this stone platform with a door in it. But between you and the stone portal, there is a just like crashing waterfall of cold, dark sewer water plummeting into the gulf below. What do you do?
I guess try to find a way across.
Sure. So it's a mere 15 feet from where you are to the platform. A mere 15 feet. But again, it is stymied by the falling wall of freezing water.
So in this picture, it looks like the falling water is coming down at a 45-degree angle over half of it. but we could cross at the other angle, the other side where it's not.
Yeah, it's a bad picture. It says that it is that basically what should be happening is the water should be falling on your side.
Okay.
Like
So we
across
can't
it.
even see that there's a platform in
You
the
can
way because
see
there's
it.
a waterfall.
You can see it, right? It's like looking through like a waterfall. Like you can see through the waterfall, but you can tell that it is.
So the water is coming from above us and straight in front of us. Like there's a pipe above us putting water. So it's a waterfall directly in front of us.
Yes,
Okay.
it's basically blocking your path.
Yeah, this is a terrible picture. That's not what that depicts at all.
Yes. No. But it does say, it says mere 15 feet from the sewer, but it says any attempt to reach the portal is stymied by the falling wall of freezing water.
I'm not sure. We should have brought someone with magic so they could have tried to like freeze it or some shit.
Magic, you say?
Yeah.
The realm of elves, perhaps.
Yeah. Maybe they can, stop the water's flow. But I don't know. I'm not an elf. I don't know elf shit. So
So tell me again what's happening with the water, please.
Okay, so there you're in a pipe. There's a platform. Yep. There is a torrent of freezing water, like basically between you and the platform. So it's like obviously you can go through it, but going through it will be challenging.
I don't know that you could go through it. If it's like 15 feet away, that's a pretty good jump. But if you have to go through water pushing you down, you're probably not going to make that jump. You'll probably just hit the water and then go straight down. You'd have to get some serious momentum to go through a giant waterfall and leap 15 feet.
Yeah, that seems like a fair. It says a mere 15 feet. And yeah, my first reaction was like, mere?
15 feet's kind of a lot. If there's a sheer chasm between you.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that can jump 15 feet.
There's a gentleman who steps forward from behind Kronk. He introduces himself as Cronus. He fancies himself somewhat of a wizard. And he says he can summon a crow companion, which may be able to fly a rope across, and we could use that.
I think Crow's gonna get doused by the waterfall though, because it's like immediately in front of the pipe that so like he wouldn't have a vector out. Is my thought. If I'm understanding this right, he would get.
Yeah, I don't think it's not like a wall, right? I mean, it's like a wall of water, but it's not
like. It's like the pipe opens, waterfall's coming down like this. So I guess maybe if he immediately flew out this.
Right. Yeah, a small crow maybe could fly around it. Or a small dragon, or, a small thing.
Didn't one of y'all have a dragon companion or some shit?
Yeah, we have the little pseudo dragon.
Okay, why don't you use him, or I don't know.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, okay. So can I summon my pseudo dragon?
Sure.
And they can fly up there?
Sure. Why don't we just have you roll like a pretty it's like for a small pseudo dragon and an easy dexterity check.
Okay.
Just like beat a 5 to like swim fly around the waterfall without, like, to Brian's point, catching a wing in it and then plummeting to.
Yep. Okay. So you want a dexterity check?
Mm-hmm.
Or an agility check, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just makes it. Flies around. And
I got a 20. I rolled a 20 on the dice. So.
Oh
no! Did it actually roll? I didn't know it actually rolled on it. Okay, great. Oh wow! Seriously? Okay.
So yeah, it flies around the waterfall and lands on the platform.
Great.
So from there, let's see. You can see the. Well, I guess can you like see through the eyes of the dragon?
It's telepathic. Yeah, we have telepathic connection.
Okay, great. So it can through it. It just kind of lets you know that there is a door on the platform, circumscribed by hundreds of tiny runes, carefully carved into the stone portal and filled with lead.
Wait, what?
Okay, so the door that's right here is a stone door with a skull on it, or it looks like a skull, and inside the door there are hundreds of tiny runes that are carefully carved into it and filled with lead.
Oh, okay, I see. What language are the runes in?
They are just in just like runic language, some sort of magic magic runic language that's, a curse on the door or whatever.
Sure. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Is that your way of saying don't try and read it, or would it be? I've never played a magic caster before, but I have something called read magic. Would that allow me to discern what these runes say?
Yes.
Yeah,
I also
just
think
looking for.
I think that you you need to get over there. I think 1. But 2, right? I think yes, you could do that, but also I think it's just like it's something where it says wizards and thieves can interpret the intent of the runes, but I think it's one of those things where you like need to see it up close and in person instead of through the eyes of your dragon familiar.
Cronus pulls back his cloak, his wizard's cloak, revealing arms so scrawny they look like they would shatter in a stiff wind. And he informs you that unfortunately a negative impact of his spellcasting frequently reduces his strength, agility, and overall longevity in its entirety. So
Damn.
He's going to need some help to get over there, but he'll be happy to discern these ruins when he does get there, if we can figure out a way to get him across.
Yeah. So it still remains. You have a dragon across the way now. You have this torrent of water. It's a 15-foot
Were
jump.
we going to give him a rope so he could hold the rope or tie it off, and then we could climb through the waterfall? Was that the plan, or do we want to do something else? Because the waterfall is the obstacle. Before we deal with the door, we need to get around the waterfall.
Yeah. Do we have rope?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's like, "Oh my god, we have so much rope."
We do.
You got magic. You got magic. You have a magic rope.
Well, I do have my dental floss rope.
Yeah.
Okay, which rope do you want to? It's up to you. So the dragon comes down. He's
we got regular rope. It's like 30 foot. So
all right.
Okay.
And my 2 new characters also both came with 50 feet of rope, so I've added that to our cumulative inventory.
All right, got like 1,000 feet of rope.
Okay. Do we tie a rock to the end of this rope? The thing flies up there, and what it does is like with like a lot of slack, it just flies kind of into a knot, and then as it flies away, the rock falls and it tightens the knot, and the rope ties onto the side or whatever it can kind of tie on.
I like this idea in theory. I don't know, like, how successful is the dragon? Let's roll something for it. You choose what you roll. It could be like intelligence or
okay, sure.
Intelligence, agility, strength. How successful is this dragon at tying a rope? Which seems like pretty.
Wouldn't it be easier for its little claws just to like tie a knot over a branch or some shit?
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't know if
it would still need to know how to tie a knot.
That's true. It wouldn't have to know like a sailor's knot or some other
an effective knot to make sure that you don't.
Okay, I'm gonna roll agility.
if there's like ruined statues or altars, he could probably
That's kind of what I'm trying to tie it around, is something like that.
well, not even tie it, but like wedge it so like it wouldn't come out.
Yeah, you
know,
just
'cause
rock
it's already
the
got
rock
like a
in
knot
there.
on the end. I'm thinking he
Yeah,
could
yeah,
just
it's
like
sort of like
wedge that knot into something.
Yeah. The here's what the book
Okay.
suggests. It says hooking the platform with a grapple and climbing through the pummeling cascade is far safer.
Sure.
Okay,
That's basically what
I
we're
mean, I
trying
can
to
do that. I have a grappling hook. I just didn't know.
Alright.
You can't really like see, and I didn't know if the grapple would make it through with my throw with the waterfall.
Well, I think
well,
with the dragon can
I'll try
help
this
too, right?
first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I-
Use the grapple hook and just attach it to something, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a 13 on agility check.
Okay, great. So why okay, so it's wedged into like a crevice or something with the like grapple hook and the rope. And you feel pretty confident that you could climb the rope across if you can pass a strength check. With a DC of 7.
Would it be possible for Cronus to fashion himself some sort of harness to aid him in his crossing?
I mean, Joan can probably just grab him. He weighs next to nothing, and she has an imperishable body.
Love it. Hey, I am with it.
I think if he weighs, we'll just that'll just increase the DC by like to 10 for Joan, right? Because she's got to carry a guy and herself across this rope. And just as a reminder, because we haven't been thinking about this, your armor is going to negatively impact your scores here. So if you have armor that does like -3, you have to subtract 3 from whatever you roll. So this is
Cronus is wearing no armor, so I don't think that
I've been doing that. Yeah.
He also weighs
have been doing that?
virtually nothing. He's like 75 pounds.
75 pounds wet.
Yeah, soaking wet.
Yes. No, this is just like the first time that I've actually been like, wait, this is where it makes sense for the armor, the check penalty.
Okay, so Joan rolled a 16. And
Great.
she's wearing studded leather armor. I don't know if that's a 1 or a 2, but she still makes it.
Okay, great. So Joan makes it across, carrying what was his name?
The little stick man from us or whatever.
Cronus. Yep.
So you want strength minus armor?
Strength minus armor.
Okay.
Beating a 7. Oh,
No.
you made it.
Oh.
With an 8. So like it's a little Kim, like it's one of those things where she's like going across and like slips and like I think like slips both hands and is just like holding on with her feet. And like has to do like a pull herself up, like some really amazing core strength to pull herself back to the rope and like shuffle across all the way. Kim though critically like walks on the rope across. Continuing their ongoing feud of
Yeah, it's just like, wow, what a loser. It's just like no look doing it, staring at at Faye as she like struggles with it. Just like stepping on her hands as she's like struggling to get back up.
Yeah.
We have a small problem.
Uh-oh.
Kronk rolled a 1.
Oh no.
Kronk.
Do you wanna do you want to burn 6 points of luck?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Kronk actually has 6 points of luck to burn because of all the bonuses he got from the last few dungeons.
Yeah, I'd say, does he want to burn 6 luck or plummet?
Hell yes, I want to burn 6 luck.
Plummet 200 feet into the darkness.
Nope. I will burn that luck all day, every day.
So, Kronk, you guys want... I feel like you guys are going over one at a time, right? So, like, Faye, like, slips and, like, barely makes it. Kim walks across. Joan like is carrying like I think just like hand over hand with Cronus on her shoulders, and then it's like Kronk's turn, and Kronk it's like slick from like wetter water and like the sweat of everyone like looking down, and he starts going across, and he's, I think, probably grumbling as dwarves do whenever they're faced with something like this. And he I think the same thing, but like instead of slipping from a hand, like his feet slip off first, and then like as he's going off, his like other hand falls off, and he's just like holding on by like one hand, and his hand is just like slipping, and then there's like maybe like a breeze or something that comes up from the depths, and it just like helps him regain his balance, and then he manages to get his hands across. And just gets to the platform.
That was an adventure. Now
should have gotten tossed.
You should have tossed me. You'll have to toss me. Don't tell the elves.
All right. And then so who's left to get across? Darrow?
Yeah. He just barely made it. He got an 11, but he gets a -4 because he's wearing scale mail.
Okay. So 10, 9, 8. Yeah. It's just like, it's heavy. I think he's the last
It's
one.
arduous for him because he's not like, he's lean, but he's not super strong.
He's the last
and
one.
Like he's also,
Yeah.
He's also just like, it's a lot. He's wearing like kind of heavy armor.
Right. That's what I was gonna say, right? Is like as he's about halfway, the rope on the side that you came in from all of this weight and cold water snaps, and he just like flies across and like hits the wall and has to like climb hand over hand and like scrambles up to the platform, and you have no way back, and the only way now is forward. And the rope is destroyed, and so before you is a door.
The rope is destroyed. I will take it
is
out of our inventory. We're down to 3.
Well, I mean, I guess like it,
it's still a rope. It's just a shorter rope now because it broke on one end.
Right.
We have three 50 feet of rope and 1 25-foot of rope.
There you go.
We still have the grapple hook. We retrieved that.
Right. Yeah. The grapple hook is on the side that you're on. And so, yes, you're all on the platform, and ahead of you, you see this door. And again, you can see it's inscribed by hundreds of tiny runes filled with lead. But in addition, as you are across now, everyone's there.
That's a giant fucking spider.
An enormous spider, grown to horrific proportions, hangs from the ceiling above the chasm, some 30 feet above the platform. The form is barely recognizable. Its enormous form is immobile, glued to the ceiling and covered in diseased globules. As you guys are there, before we roll initiative, it is going to try to grab. So choose which of your guys are. Dave, choose who is 1, 2, and 3. Brian, choose who's 4 and who's 5. And then Brandon, choose who's 6, 7, and 8.
Okay.
So number 8.
That's Gravedigger.
Okay.
He never drew a weapon. He dug graves until the day he died, and then we laid him in one.
Oh, they get 2 attacks. Okay. So, well, that'll hit. So, as you land, this spider drops this thick, sticky thread that just wraps around Gravedigger and starts pulling him upward.
Great.
And then also, who's number 6? Brandon.
Kronk is number 6.
Well, I don't think an 8 is going to hit. It tries to grab Kronk as well with this thread. Okay, so, and then we'll just kind of, I'm not going to even roll for an initiative. I think we'll just go, Dave, what do you do with your characters?
Wait, can I see the spider? Where's the spider on the map?
It's this thing.
Oh, it's up there. Sorry, my thing cut it off. I thought it was like south of us. I see.
No,
okay.
It's 30 feet above you.
Sorry, my screen is cut off. I see. Okay, great. There it is. That makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's currently wrapped Gravedigger and is pulling Gravedigger towards him.
Okay, so I am going to attempt to cast Magic Missile
Okay.
with
An oldie but a goodie. When all
with
else fails,
Faye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Magic Missile it.
So let's go to Faye. Let's get some Magic Missile. Oh, it's a 4.
Oh, yeah. That fails and you lose it for the day.
Sad. We are crossing off Magic Missile.
Yes. But yes, you can you can spell burn, right, a point to get it back at any point. So
At any point, I can
yes.
spell burn again.
What about Kim and your level 0? Is your level 0 just like a bathing suit?
And I rolled like a lumberjack, and then the first pictures I got were all these like CrossFit lumberjacks. So she's a CrossFit lumberjack.
Nice.
Like literally, the first lumberjack was just like CrossFit. So yeah, there it goes. That's the only people that are lumberjacks anymore, apparently, according to the internet. Okay, so that was Faye. So shit. Yeah, I guess I'll try to cast something too. Let's try Choking Cloud on this.
Oh, just like
The spider.
on the spider. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
actually.
like
I like
I'm
it.
gonna aim like high at like I think I want to.
You're
back.
like bug bombing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the way to do it.
I feel like Spider would be vulnerable to a Choking Cloud.
Yeah. Roll it up.
Let's see if we can actually roll good. Choking Cloud coming at you.
Oh shit. Yeah. 20.
Oh, that's better. Yeah, Faye sucks today. Kim's all over it. Right.
Yeah. Kim walked across a rope, cast a choking cloud. Faye.
Okay, so 20 on the. So that was 20 with the bonus, right?
I assume so.
Yeah, so I'd have to get 24 to do something else. So 20 is a single acidus poisonous cloud appears with a radius of 20 feet centered on a target of the caster's choosing. For 2d4 plus 4 rounds. So I'll do 2d4. That's a 4.
Okay.
Plus a 4. Wow, we're rolling good. She's really doing good. So that's 12. So for 12 rounds.
The spider is going to take 1 point of damage and get
a -2. Yeah, -2 penalty to all rolls. Takes 2 points of damage each round and must make a something save when first exposed or be poisoned.
Oh.
So you need to make a fort save.
It's going to save. Well,
Okay.
Wait. It's against what you rolled, so it's poisoned.
So you get it's poisoned, which means it gets -1d4 to agility. So you want me to roll the d4 or you want to roll it?
It probably doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah, I got a 3.
I roll a 3.
Okay,
We
I
both
got a 3
got
too.
Okay.
Weird.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So
it
you
is
get poisoned. The caster can direct the cloud by concentrating. It moves up to 50 feet per round with a command.
Okay. Oh,
So 20-foot radius around. I'm going to aim for, I think, the back.
Sure.
Yeah, like the back of the spider.
Sure. Yeah, and it can't move anyway, so it's just like you have it covered in this poison as it's slowly dragging Gravedigger towards it by this like thread. Okay. And then cool.
Sunny does not currently have a weapon or spells that can access this spider.
Okay.
He's got an axe.
Okay.
Right.
What are you going to do? And this door is closed, right? So closed, and there is hundreds of tiny runes carved into it, filled with lead. Okay, Brian.
I'm gonna have Darrow take a shot with his Red Rider bow.
It's also just to remind you guys, it's clear that this spider is like cannot move, right? It is like rooted glued to the ceiling by these like enormous globules that are like growing out of it.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot the spider silk that's
Okay, sure.
pulling Gravedigger. He got an 18 plus 1, 19.
Okay, that'll
He
hit.
rolled a 5.
5 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like cuts it like cuts like half of the spools, but it's still, I think it slows it down, but Gravedigger is still being pulled inexorably towards his death. And I think also when you hit it, you notice that like, because you're aiming at it and you can kind of see it, it like the crossbow bolt, when it hits it, like something splashes off of it, and it's like some sort of liquid is also dripping down
Gross.
this thread
Um,
from the mouth of the spider.
Cool. And then Joan is going to light her trusty infernal mace,
Hell yes.
and she's going to light the spiderweb on fire.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know what the roll is for that, because she literally just like touches it to the spiderweb, because like I imagine Gravedigger's like getting pulled off the precipice and people are trying to pull him back, but he's slowly getting pulled, and she just like walks up and ignites it.
Yeah. I think what I'll say is that like that is just going to break the thread. And it kind of like burns the thread up to the spider, or it doesn't even burn the thread all the way up to the spider. It burns it until it like reaches this liquid, and then like the fire kind of like fizzles out. So Gravedigger is like I don't think even wrapped in thread. Yes, is wrapped in thread, but is like no longer being dragged up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also, because I'm curious, she's gonna take her flaming mace and like hold it to the door where the lead is to see if it melts.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good question. I think that the answer is that it would melt, but it would take more time than like the 10 seconds that is around. Right? But maybe it like starts shimmering, and you like get the sense that you could melt this lead away. It would take time while this spider is still attempting to kill all of you.
Yeah. But all I can do is shoot a thread at a time, I guess.
Right. It's 30 feet above you. Yes.
Okay.
So
well, does anyone think that the lead is the answer to this door? Because like it's a weird
he keeps
element
mentioning it
inlaid into the door.
Yeah, Will keeps mentioning it, so I feel like it's important.
That's good. That's good. D&D gaming right there.
Yeah.
The DM is mentioning this thing repeatedly. It must mean something. Yes.
Yeah, so I think the lead, or manipulating the lead, is probably key to it. So keep that in mind. But beyond that, I don't really have anything else to do. Okay. She's still just like holding the mace, and it is infernal. It's not like regular fire, so it is probably a degree hotter. But she's fascinated by like what this lead is, and now that she's freed Gravedigger, she's like more interested in the door than she is with the spider. Right.
Okay. Then we'll go to Brandon.
Okay. Gravedigger is going to thank Joan profusely while he attempts to get the, cleanse himself, get all the stuff off of him.
Right.
He's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. My first time off the soil, and I almost returned to it. I should have stayed. I should have never dreamed of bigger things than digging graves for people exactly like myself." Mumbling as he's
I've made a huge mistake.
Made a huge mistake. He takes out his shovel, which has been like sharpened on the sides, so it's actually a battle axe.
Nice.
And he's just kind of standing at the ready. Kronk is going to take up a defensive position behind Cronus, who seems to have convinced Kronk that he is able to read these words. And Cronus is going to make a check to attempt to do just that. He's going to try to read these runes.
Yeah, make an intelligence check. or
Hell-
use the spell, whichever you prefer.
Hell yeah. Well, I would think I'm going to try the intelligence check because I'm going to try the intelligence.
Just got to
check.
beat a 10.
Just got to beat 10. All right. Come on, baby.
Beat
Come on, baby.
A 10.
16 on the dice. Plus 2 gives me 18.
Sure. Basically these runes, you can interpret the intent of the runes is to form a seal, preventing the portal from being opened from the outside. Any attempt to open the door by physical means fails, causing the portal to flare bright green. You know that so long as the lead seal remains intact, the door cannot be opened by either magic or might. However, removing any of the lead destroys the seal. Once the seal is broken, the portal can be pushed in.
Yep. So Cronus will relay that to Joan and just be like, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Finger guns. Pew, pew, pew.
All right. And then is that everything?
Kronk is taking up a defensive position with his silver-plated shield.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Spider's going to throw some more thread. This one at Dave. Choose who's your number 3?
That would be Sunny.
All right. So the spider is going to wrap silk around Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gravedigger also going to get more silk wrapped around him.
Damn, he really wants that Gravedigger flesh.
Just like this creature is just like drooling and putting out this poison. Okay, then Dave, you're up. And Sunny is going to take 2 points of damage from the acid that is pouring down from this thread to destroy the bodies.
Got 2 left.
Okay. This is level 0, so no.
2 left. Okay.
What are you going to do?
So first, Sunny's going to try to chop herself out of this.
Sure. Wait, she said she has no weapons.
She has no weapons. No ranged weapons.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
She has a hand axe.
Okay.
So I will attempt to attack with the hand axe.
Okay.
Okay, so I had a question actually. Let's see if this works actually, and then I'll ask. Maybe if it doesn't work, I'll ask you.
Yeah. Wow, that won't hit. There's a lot of damage though for a level 0.
It should be a 12 though, because her lucky roll was. Oh no, never mind. That's why I couldn't do it. It is working. Okay, so her lucky roll was to attack damage, and it's working. Okay, so no, 11 to hit. 11 doesn't hit. So.
No, it doesn't hit. It's just like she's like hits it with like the handle of the axe instead of the blade.
All right, so then Kim is going to try to chop it with the longsword.
Sure. Oh no! Also not.
My God. Okay. Then Faye's dragon is going to try to roast it with its breath.
You're gonna use your once per day breath to.
Oh no! Like just like its claws, I guess.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah. No, it's claw attack.
Okay.
Okay, so attack is +2. So I'll just roll a d20. So claw attack is going to be 9 plus 2.
No. Yeah, they're really struggling with this thread that's pulling Sunny inexorably towards her doom.
Yeah, so I guess Faye will then attack with her lightsaber. So light it up.
Roll d20.
Not today, Junior. It's 15.
All right. You turn on a lightsaber. What
so
color
this
is
blue
your
lightsaber
Nice.
Goes up, and then we'll attack.
Okay.
13 to hit.
Yeah. Yes, I will say that hits. Yes. And like just burns through the thing, the thread, and drops Sunny to the ground.
He took 4 tries.
It took all of your guys to save the Sunny.
4 action. Got him.
Brian.
So Darrow is gonna use paralysis, the spell,
Okay.
and he got 19.
Okay.
19 and 18 or 19. The cleric's melee weapons and missile fire weapons are charged with paralysis.
Okay.
The charge remains for 1d4 plus CL rounds.
Okay. Cool. So that is the next time you're up, you can use paralysis. Yep.
Correct.
Okay. And then Joan?
Joan is still trying to melt it, and it's starting to pool and get hot, I would imagine. So.
Yeah, I think it's bubbling, and I think just like even just like one letter or like one piece of this rune breaking breaks the magic.
Right. You can start to see like the green lines in like the doors, like it's straining against.
Right. You can see that like now you can probably someone could push it open, right?
Yeah. So seeing that and seeing like the barrier starting to like break down, she just like kicks the door hard.
Okay. Roll a strength check.
18.
Oh, fuck. She like kicks this stone door. And you guys are like, oh no, don't kick it, you're gonna break your foot. She's like kicks this door and the door like flies open and like the lead runes, like the lead pieces just like shatter everywhere into this like explosion of lead dust. And it opens the door into the room, which is a small circular room with a spiral staircase in the center of the chamber, rising through the vaulted ceiling. And that's all I'm gonna describe for now. Okay. Kim and Faye and Sunny are like, fuck this, and immediately run in. Okay, Brandon.
Yep. So Gravedigger is going to make an attempt to cut himself free.
Sure.
That's a nat 20.
Sure. Yeah. I won't even have you roll damage, right? He cuts himself free with this shovel thing. And it's like got one arm free to do it.
Immediately run into the room with the rest of the group.
Okay.
So him and Cronus are going to run into the room. Kronk is going to bring up the rear kind of with his shield raised as he slowly backs into the room, like pulling up the rear.
Great. So you get past the spider and you get into the room, and the spider just kind of like, you can hear the mandibles just like clacking. You know.
Yeah. How many HP does the spider
have? 23, 5d8.
So it takes 2 damage for 12 turns.
Yeah, I guess it eventually will die.
Suck it, spider.
You won't be there to see it happen, but yes, yeah. Eventually,
you may level up somewhere else in the dungeon, and you're just like, ding.
Yeah. Kill the spider.
That spider is like a cool idea, but it's actually not that big of a threat. So I think I probably should have increased its damage.
Gravedigger begs to differ.
Right, fair. Yes. It does do 1d4 per round, so I guess 2 damage to Gravedigger. Since you didn't.
Yikes.
No one freed Gravedigger before it was Gravedigger's turn, so he's going to take 2 damage from the acid in the threads.
Yeah. He's mostly dead now.
Okay. Well, then I will just describe this room, and we'll just kind of call it, since Brian's got to go. The portal opens to a small circular room. A spiral staircase stands in the center of the chamber, rising through the vaulted ceiling. Across the chamber, a second set of stairs descends into darkness. The circle of runes set into the floor circumscribes the entire chamber. The chamber walls are covered in alcoves. Each alcove is stacked with scores of bleached skulls, wedged in tight rows, soaring to the ceiling dozens of feet above. And I'll just, I assume that the wizard is going to want to read the runes on the floor.
Yes.
It says, "You are what we once were. We are what you will be." The players of Tales from the Tarnished Jewel and Beyond are Brandon, Brian, and Dave. Your judges will. In this session, we use elements from DCC's Lankmar setting and play Jewels of the Carnifex, a level 3 adventure by Harley Stroh. We play using the Dungeon Crawl Classics core rules as published in the 9th and 10th printing. Nearly all tokens used by the players and judge were designed by the artists at 2minutetabletop.com. The theme music is Higher Octane by Vans Japan. The theme for Overlord Yoshimi was The Horns of Elfland by Pip Easton, featuring Anthony Halstead, and can be found on Spotify. If you like what we're doing here, please rate, review, like, or subscribe. Thanks!